Okay, so welcome to this tour of Microsoft Word. We're going to begin with a blank document here. We're going to make that full screen. So the first thing you want to do with Microsoft Word is you want to notice that you're in the Home tab over here. And we talk about a lot about these different tabs across the top. So we're under the Home tab and we're going to actually put a title in. There we go, so we've got our title, and that was quite simple. The next step is we want to scaffold our Word document, so we've got different sections to work in. So if you notice, if you're watching up here, it says title, and if I press enter, it automatically goes back to normal. If I press enter again, it's still normal, so I can type any text in here and it'll appear the normal size, which is Calibri and size 12. So most documents that you'll have to do for high school actually require you to have sections to them. So we can go heading 1 and we can type introduction. So if you notice, whilst I've done that, it's actually made that word blue, which is a little bit annoying. So what we can do is we can click on heading 1 and click modify. So is it double click just then or a right click? We're going to change the color of the text to black, click update, and there it is. And it looks quite professional, quite nice. So next thing we can do is we can actually click heading 1 again and type body. And so that this is where we write the bulk of our assignment. So we can still have different sections to our body. We might have part 1, part 2, part 3, and a conclusion. But if you notice, I've already used heading 1. So to get around this, I can use heading 2. So I'll use heading 2 again. Part 2, we might just chuck a part 3, and let's go conclusion. So once again, you've noticed that as I've been typing then, it's been blue, which once again we can click modify and make it black. Done. So we've got a few different parts to our Word document here. And one thing that is generally not well known is how to make a table of contents. Now this isn't always necessary for most of your assignments, but sometimes in really big documents it's nice to have a table of contents, for you to know where to find what you're looking at on what page, and same with your teacher who's marking it. So what we can do is, instead of going to the Home tab here, if you click on References, it brings up this ribbon across here. We want to insert a table of contents and classic. And you can see what it's done there is it's automatically generated a table of contents which we can use. So we might not want it at the very top, we might want to put a picture in there. But one thing that's good about this table is, say we start the introduction here and we put the body on the next page. There it is, the body's at the start of the next page. And you notice the table of contents hasn't updated. So what we can do is right click on it or double click again with your Macs. There's a few different ways you can do this. You can click on this little arrow here and say update table. Whenever you get to update table, always click update entire table. So if there's any changes to the headings here, it'll update that as well as the page numbers. So if you just watch here where it says body, it says page 1. If we click OK, it's now all changed to page 2. So that's our first skill, making a title, making headings, making subheadings, and making our little contents table. The next thing we want to do is actually make page numbers. So what we can do is we can go up to this tab at the top here. Instead of being in home, we're going to go across one to insert, and then all the way across here to page number. So we can click page number. It's going to ask us, do we want it at the top or the bottom, on the left or the right? These are the default settings, and at the bottom on the right, I think that's fine, so we can click OK. So now as we scroll down, you can see that we have 1 appearing there and 2 there, and then every other page will have a page number on it. Now you also may want a header on your document. A header is a really good place to write your name and maybe the subject and the date. Might actually grab that, put that there. Cool. So now we can exit the header, and that'll appear on every page. Now there's a few more skills that I want to show you, and then the next one is if you're going to put any images in your document, and you want them to be landscape instead of portrait. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is this special character up here, which looks like a P that's bolded. So if you press that, it's going to show you all the different markups, everything you've done. So every time you've pressed enter, it's going to have that little symbol there, the arrow that goes down to the left. Anytime you've pressed shift enter, it'll just have that character. So what we want to do is we want to go to where we want to put our picture. So say we want part 2 to be our picture. What we might do is actually bring it up. So let's have a look. Part 2. And one thing I should show you now, actually, before we do changing the page orientation, is actually how you get it so that no matter what you do to the introduction, it won't affect the body. So sometimes when you're writing, you want the body to appear on a separate page to your introduction. And this is where we're going to go layout, breaks, new page. So this creates what's called a section break. So no matter what you do to your introduction, no matter how big you make it, it won't change where the body appears. The body will always appear on the next page. So say the introduction goes over the page, you'll notice that automatically it's pushed the body down to here. So we might just get rid of all that silly text. Cool. So now you can see we've got the body on the next page. It's on page 2. We can turn that special character off. It just sort of lets us see everything we've done in the Word document. And as I said, the last thing I really want to show you is how to change the orientation of a page. So this page here was landscape, and because we've done, it was portrait. Because we've done a section break, we can actually click on this page and change its layout. So you can see that this page now is this page is portrait, the first page. Page 2 is landscape. And say we want the next page to be portrait again. Once again, you need to use a break and a section break. So we've got the next page here, which is, once again, it's landscape. We want to change it back to portrait, and we can go simply like that. So you can see this allows you to have a document that's got a title, a table of contents, which you can easily edit by editing the actual headings first and then updating the table. Using your section breaks. So we've got section breaks here, so we can put pictures in potentially on a landscape page and then jump back to portrait. and we've got our page numbers as well. So that's going to be it for our first little brief tour of Microsoft Word, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you get something out of it.